Well, as the weekend is drawing to a close, it doesn't mean we have to end things here. So today it's all about the Japanese wrestling. So the first thing we're going to be reviewing is the latest ChocoPro with 344 with three interesting matches. But the main event features a very interesting one. We're going to see, of course, the sisters, more specifically Miya Yotsuba and her younger sister Nonoka Seto, take on the Best Bros. So basically, the sisters will have to fight against their master, Mei Shruga, and her bro. So we'll see how that turns out. Then we move on with a very interesting event by Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. Much like their brothers in DDT Pro Wrestling, where they do a lot of their wacky shows, such as in their trains, a water park, a boat ride. Last time, these ladies had a little fun at a pool section, which is like a kind of like a you know uh, where they have a lot of water slides and all this. Well, this time they're wrestling inside of an aquarium in Yokohama. And then, of course, we cap it up with some Pro Wrestling Noahs with one of their latest shows, Sunny Voyage. And then, of course, we end things with some news updates to tell what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set. We also talk about any wrestlers that have been signed or departing from their promotions, any injured wrestlers, the whole enchilada. So let's get ready for another episode of the Leaded Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Leaded Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of reviews from various wrestling promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also do discussion videos on the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also do some news updates. If I'm unable to put it on this episode, I can put it on the one by itself. And of course, we have the Unagi Siaka Watch, more updates on the alert time, and various other cool stuff. But if you like this episode, sorry, if you like this channel, so please subscribe to us. So click on the subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool stuff on this channel. Also, if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or give us a nice comment down below on the description down below. So, let's begin with ChocoPro 344. This was recently back on December 9th. It opened up with Shiko Shikawa giving the announcements of the matches. But if you have noticed, she is no longer wearing a thing. She injured her arm recently, but right now she seems she's getting healthier, getting a whole lot better. It's only a matter of time until she gets back. We'll just see what goes down. Now, our very first match, we have a three-way match. First, we have Tokiko Kirihara versus Mochi Natsumi versus Chonchiru. Now, it's interesting that we're going to see all this. Now, there are moments we can see. Of course, there'll be some team ups in these type of three ways, and it doesn't last very long like we normally would expect. But it was, of course, Chonchiru that picked up the win when he applied the Gory bomb onto Kokio Kirihara and picked up the win. Now, our next match, we have a very interesting singles match. We have Sayaka versus Hagane Shino. It's been a while since we've seen Hagane, but it was a good opportunity for Sayaka in this match. We have seen her grow up so much as a pro wrestler, but at the same time building up a new aggressiveness in her in-ring craft. I have noticed it for a long time. She brings that mean girl, well, not the mean girl character, more like the mean girl type that you see in the ring, that sort of thing. And you probably would have thought it would have been helpful for her, but however, that wasn't the case because Hagane was the one that put her in a somewhat of an armbar submission. Um, it's like you're doing a reverse Fuji armbar where instead of pulling it this way, you're like on the other side, try to extend it that way. That's what helped them win the match, and it was just like that. Now, our main event, we have Nonaka Seto and her sister Miya Tsuba teaming up to take on the Best Bros. Now, as I said before, now those who don't remember, when Nonaka Seto made her Got to Move debut, Miya Yatsuba revealed that Nonaka Seto are sisters. Now, she did explain the reasons why they have separate names. The reason is because they wanted to focus more on being singles competitors, but they said there'll be times where they will team up. And I think this is one of those times right now. And of course, both sisters were trained under by one person. And you guys can guess who that is, and that is none other than Mei Shuga. So in a way, it's kind of like, okay, let's see what the students will do against the master and her bro Balinaki. So that kind of puts it up. And I have to say, it was a pretty good match because you can tell there are moments where you can see Mia and Naoka will always have each other's backs. But however, with the experience with both Meishuga and Balinaki, that's always been a good factor where it leads them to win. There were moments they would have won it by almost won it by using like their conventional finishers, the dolphin press and all this other stuff, but that didn't do any well. But it was Meishuga that was able to pin Nonaka, and 1, 2, 3, it was over. Just like that. Now for a Jonkin tournament, this one was a very difficult one. I wasn't too sure how this one was go. However, I can give you to the end. She may have lost her match against Hagane, but she was able to pick up a win in Jonkin tournament. I'm talking about Sayaka. So I thought it was a pretty good one. So I think we did have a lot of good fun with ChocoPro on this one. Let's move on with Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. Now, if you guys are fans of DDT Pro Wrestling, then you guys know the kind of matches they do or kind of events. Now, for example, DDT has been known to do some interesting matches in different locations other than the ring. They have done matches on a train at least 3 times, um, recently on a boat, uh, water park, a sauna, the streets of Tokyo, and what other locations? Oh yeah, of course the Tokyo Dome when there was no one there. But of course, we never seen the ladies from Tokyo Pro Wrestling get involved that much like that. However, there was a little bit of a taste that they throw in on that one a few years back, where they were involved in some sort of a kind of like a gauntlet match, but in a very interesting way. It was Hyper Misawa, now Hikari Noah, Maki Ito, and Miyu Yamashita. That was in the Tokyo Dome when they were facing 37 Kamina. This is before Takeshita actually signed with AEW and of course turned heel. So that was the only time. That was one of their tastes they had. But the following year, they were involved in a very interesting match where they were wrestling in a pool. There's like water slides and all that. I thought it was a pretty fun, but this was also the last time, one of the few matches that were last that features Nonaka Temna and Marika Kobashi. However, this time the ladies in Tokyo Pro Wrestling, they did a show at Yokohama at the Hakkeijima Sea Paradise, which is like an aquarium or so in Yokohama, and they called this Aquarium Pro Wrestling. Now they did not have the full extent of their roster, in case anybody asked. We did have this who they had. We have Hyper Misawa, Raku, Naokakuda, Yuka Arai, Miyu Watanabe, the um, Rika Tatsumi, Imawari, Suzumi, Shoko Nakajima, and of course Mizuki, and one of the final matches with Yuka Sakazaki. So now here's the kicker. This video was uploaded on the 10th of December. The contents of this match was taped at an unknown time. That's exactly the official word. No one knows when this happened. So basically, they kept that on the wraps. So don't ask me that question. I went through online to find out more information. They didn't say. But I have to say it was a very interesting event. You know, being at an aquarium, being around penguins and all kinds of fish. But no, nobody got thrown through a tank. But it was mostly on the floor under the ref's discretion, from what he was saying. Now, our first match, we had a tag team. We have Imawari teaming with Shoko Nakajima, taking on Arisu Endo and Miyu Watanabe. Now, I don't know how this was going to go. So they started at this one section of the aquarium, and they stayed there for a while. So later they moved to another location while fighting, of course, dragging the opponent around on their arm, underneath, having their heads under their armpits. Basically, they went in that direction. But it was a double submission that, excuse me. Anyway, a double submission. Arisu Endo had Imawari in a crossface type, and as for Miyu Watanabe has Nakajima like some sort of like a torture rack type, like squeezing the abdomen while on the top of the shoulder. So that set the whole thing down and giving Miyu and Arisu Endo to pick up the win. Now our next match, another tag team match, we have Rika Tatsumi teaming up with Zuzumi, taking on Yuka Arai and Raku. So you probably can think it's the same thing where we started in one section of the aquarium and then moved on to another. That kind of sets it in right there. So they just moved on. I was expecting Raku to do her little lullaby to put everybody to sleep, but unfortunately, that wasn't happening. I wasn't sure why, but it would have been a lot funner, to be honest with you, seeing the lullaby happen. But unfortunately, it was a submission by Rika Tatsumi to Raku to pick up the win. Now, our next match, this one was a very interesting one. We have the Magical Sugar Rabbit, Mizuki and Yuka Sakazaki, taking on Hyper Misao and Naokakuta. Now, as you know, when it comes to Hyper Misao, she likes to start out with the match saying a few words and then, of course, turning the entire match into chaos. The match went to chaos regardless because what happened is she brought some sort of spray and sprayed on the eyes of Yuka Sakazaki. Then the referee completely lost control of everything. So the match ended in no contest. However, because of the extent of what happened, of Hyper Misao's actions, they decided to have a bit of a 12 women tag team match, 6-on-6. So team number one, we have Rika Tatsumi, Imawari, Suzumi, Shoko Nakajima, and the Magical Sugar Rabbits, Mizuki and Yuka Sakazaki. They take on Yuki Arai, Miyu Watanabe, Arisu Endo, Raku Nakakuta, and Hyper Misao. Now, they started out at the same location where they were recently, but the match was dragged all the way to where they were doing a beluga show. Yes, folks, as you see, there is a big pool where there's performances of marine animals, and they had belugas right there. I'm not joking. I actually saw this. So I thought it was very interesting. I mean, belugas were swimming there. Even the trainers were there too. They even had the chance to pet them, the little paws, their moment. But however, they got one of the teams got splashed by the belugas, and I thought it was real fun. But in the end, it was Yuka Sakazaki who picked up the win when she pinned Arisu Endo. I have to say, the match was really fun and very interesting. I'm sure we'll see more of these wacky matches types that we've seen with Tokyo Pro Wrestling. Like I said, their last one they did was in a pool area, But Can't wait to see what they're gonna do. But they're not gonna do the same kind of extend that DDT does it, because right now one of their biggest ambitions is to do a match inside of a plane. I mean, I have to say it's very ambitious, but we'll see how that rolls up. So I think that's it right now with Tokyo Pro Wrestling. So it's time for Noah. Okay, as you all know, we're almost close to the end of this year. Now, there's no major big show by Pro Wrestling Noah until January 2nd, and of course, there's a lot of things. But we do have a couple of Sunny Voyages events to show up, and of course, the last was it Monday Magic of this year. So we will be talking about that at some point. But right now, the only event we're focusing on with Noah is Sunny Voyage that took place on the 10th of December. Now, it opened up with Yu Owada teaming up with Super Crazy, taking on Kai Fujimura and Hajime Ohara. Now, we know that Fujimura and Owada are two of the least experienced members of the roster, and I thought it was a pretty good moment to have those two to face off each other, because it would give them a much better opportunity of a bit of the spotlight. But I had a feeling that one of them was going to apply the Boston Crab, because I've seen this not only with New Japan but also with Noah, and I thought it was a perfect fitting for Fujimura to pick up the win by applying the Boston Crab. Next up, we have Teriyaki taking on Extreme Tiger. I thought there was going to be a great spot moments between these two guys. These guys are excellent high flyers, but in the end, I was so surprised that of course, Teriyaki was going to do something cool. He applied an avalanche DDT on Extreme Tiger that allowed him to pick up the win. Now, next up, I believe we have a bit of a six-man tag team match. We have Taishi Ozawa. He teams up with the members of Funky Express, more specifically Akitoshi Saito and um, Mohammed Yone. They take on the members of Real, consisting of a former Funky Express member Shuhei Taniguchi, Saxon Huxley, and Timothy Thatcher. Now, if you guys probably ask me, really? Taniguchi used to be a member? Yes, he apparently thinks that his time with Funky Express was kind of taking a toll on him and all this. I'm sure that Saito, here's the thing. Saito never did like the idea of joining Funky Express, but he learns to embrace it. I mean, he's realizing he doesn't have to be that funky. All he had to do is kick some ass in the ring, and I think that's what matters. And of course, they were probably can't wait to get their hands on Taniguchi for walking out on them. So that would have been a very interesting thing. But however, of course, it was Rail that picked up a good win thanks to Timothy Thatcher when he applied the Fujiwara armbar on Owada. Basically, Owada, just like Fujimura and Owada, Ozawa was the one who got who's least experienced, ended up in the wrong side of that. So Rail picked up the win, all thanks to Timothy Thatcher. Next up, we have Alejandro taking on Tadasuke. Now, these two guys aren't two are familiar wrestlers, as you all may remember. Both of these guys used to be members of the faction known as Congo. It was Alejandro who was there known as Aleja. He turned his back on everybody, and Tadasuke did the same thing too. But however, these two will be participating in a three-way match for the GHC tag team, junior heavyweight tag team title. I thought this would be a perfect preview for who is going to walk out as the victor. But in the end of this, it was Alejandro with a beautiful jackknife that picked up the win and walked out with the dub. Next up, we have another six-man tag team match. We have Hiroki, Atsushi Kotoge, and the Murder Machine, Takeshi Sugiura, taking on the members of GLG, good looking guys, Yohei, LJ Clearing, and Jake Lee. So this is going to be it was a pretty good match. However, in the end, it was, of course, in Meteora by Yohei onto Hiroki to pick up the win. Next up, we have Junta Miyawaki teaming up with um, Shuji Kondo taking on Eita and Hayata. Hayata and Eita have been a very good, strong team, and they've been very stable. Hayata is one of the best junior heavyweight competitors in the promotion. Eita is determined to reach the top no matter what. But it was Eita who pinned Miyawaki to pick up the win. Now, our next match we have, this is our main event, Misaki Miya teaming with Daiki Inaba and his former teammate Manabu Soya. If you guys remember, Kitamiya and Soya used to be part of Congo, led by Keno. However, their opponents are Go Shiozaki, Naomichi Marufuji, and Keno. Now, before they focused on the match, Keno is a very pissed off dude. The reason he's pissed is because, if you guys know or not, I've been reporting that there's been a bit of a controversy that took place for the upcoming big pay-per-view with Noah. And that controversy was the fact that Marufuji is going to be in the main event facing off Kota Ibushi. Keno took this as an offense. Like, he had the title right in his face, telling him, "Hey, I'm the champion here. You are not had no right to be in the main event." So he's like getting off. So basically, he's pissed that the fact is he got skipped over. So that's what's been going on. So Keno is not happy. Even though he has to tolerate Marufuji, he will not let this matter go, no matter what you or I would think. But it did play out pretty well. But however, Keno had this match won, but it was Marufuji who tagged himself in without Keno noticing it and picked up the win. But Keno once again was pissed off, once feeling like the spotlight was taken away from him, knowing that, Marufuji did something stupid. However, Go Shiozaki tried to reason with him, saying that he needs to stop. But as you know, Masaki Yamiya tried to reason with him, telling him all this and that. But don't forget, he will face against Manabu Soya on January 2nd. So we'll see what that leads us from there on. I think that's pretty much it with Noah. So let's just move on with some news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So this is what we have right now. Updates on the promotions, on upcoming events, and other matches, and all this other stuff. TNA has announced that they will be heading to New Orleans in February on the 23rd and the 24th of 2024. They will be doing No Surrender on the 23rd of February, and of course, Bayou Blast. So I'm looking forward to that, seeing they'll be doing 2 shows in New Orleans. Now, as you know, I mentioned a while back, we do JCW, or known as Jersey Championship Wrestling, has announced the return of the Jersey J Cup. They already announced certain competitors like Speedball Mike Bailey, Masha Sandwich, I believe, Alec Price, Jonathan Gresh. But the recent name has been announced that will be participating in the Jersey J Cup, and that is none other than Space Jesus, Billy Starks. Now, finally, as you know, GCW will be doing shows for 2024, and one of them is going to be on the 12th of January. This one is for the No Compadre event, and they announced that the GCW World Tag Team titles will be defended. Violence is Forever defends the belts against Davey Bang and August Matthews. So that's pretty much it with the updates on the promotion's upcoming events and matches. Let's talk about certain developments that have been going around. Now, if you guys are fans of this Yoshi promotion, even though it's not a big promotion, but they do have some good talent there. Pure-J, Command Boshi announced Sheska, who is to be part of the roster. According to what she's saying, she is currently in training. However, they did reveal that she has debuted before, back in 2016 for the promotion known as Reina. Now, I don't know much about her, but I am aware of the promotion. There are some Yoshi promotions that used to exist but no longer around. I did manage to see a couple of those shows, but I will be doing those either on a special episode or on the podcast whenever I get a chance. Now, finally, we have a very interesting. Now, as you all know, there is a promotion out in Spain, and members from the Marvelous roster and, of course, Unagi Sayaka participated in this one. Now, I did not see the full extent of the show, but I can tell you the results on that particular day, and this is what we have. Now, this is the results. Miyu Momono defeated Millie McKenzie, or as you remember her, Amelia McKenzie in NXT. Pura Rasa defeated Tora. I don't know who she is. Riho got defeated Gerald Garcia. Don't know who that is. Unagi Sayaka defeated Sara Leon. Urkel Navarro defeated Isis, Isis, I think is his name. And then finally, the last one is for the women's title for RCW Spain. Takumi Iroha defeated Nightshade. So yes, so it's interesting. There is a photo that they posted of Miyu Momono, Takumi, and Unagi together, and of course Takami with her championship. So basically, she is now going to be traveling to Spain as well. Now, there is no way of seeing the full scent of the show, but I will keep a track on what's been going on in particular with this one. So I'm very excited that um, that Spain have this type of promotion. Like I said before, that's the reason I started this channel. Where, of course, pro wrestling is not as big in certain countries, but it does continue to grow. So we'll see how that progresses in life. But right now, um, we're done with everything else. So let's just call it a day. I hope everybody enjoys this episode coming up. Well, I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna do. Is another Stardom show that just popped up, and I'm probably gonna see that. And there's still some other wrestling shows, like for example, the graduation ceremony of Yuka Sakazaki, and a few others. So I haven't decided how this is gonna progress, but I'll keep you guys apprised. I am looking for a time and place where I can do the special episode where I can review, talk about the day 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of the All Japan Pro Wrestling tournaments, the Junior Battle of Glory and Real World Tag League. So that's going to be separate at another time since they haven't posted out any new shows just yet. But we'll see. And also, this week I should be able to do the upcoming Unagi Sayaka watch. I haven't done that for a while since I've been focusing on other things on this channel with other reviews and all that. So we'll see how time progresses on that. So as of right now, we'll just wing it for the next episode. So I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang!